Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope you all are fit and fine. So, children, as in previous class, we have discussed about the carbon cycle and water cycle. Today, we are going to start a nitrogen cycle. So, first, we should know about the meaning of nitrogen cycle. What is happening to the nitrogen in the atmosphere? Okay, so that the nitrogen cycle is the series of processes by which the nitrogen and its compounds are interconverted into the environment and in the living organism also, including the nitrogen fixation and decomposition process. So children, what do you mean by these nitrogen fixation processes? So the nitrogen fixation means it is a chemical process by which the atmospheric nitrogen is assimilated into the organic compounds, especially by certain microorganisms as part of the nitrogen cycle. And in the other hand, the decomposition is the process by which dead organism we can see the dead organic substances are broken down into the simpler organic and the inorganic matter such as carbon dioxide, water, simple sugar and mineral salts. So children, after that the bodies of the living organism also begins to decompose in the short period of time. So children, the animals such as the worms also help to decompose the organic materials. And the nitrogen cycle is the mainly biogeochemical cycle, or we can say biogeochemical process through which the nitrogen is converted into many forms and then passing from atmosphere to the soil and again soil to the microbes and then back to the atmosphere. So children, it involves the several processes. There are the processes we can see in this diagram such as the nitrogen fixation, nitrification, denitrification, decaying and then we can say the putrefaction also. So with the help of the bacteria, these nitrogen fixation occur because the nitrogen fixation bacteria present in the leguminous plants is the rhizobium, okay, which convert the atmospheric nitrogen into their nitrogen compounds. And then nitrification is very important step in the nitrogen cycle because the nitrification is the biological oxidation of ammonia into nitrites and then followed by the oxidation of the nitrites to nitrates, okay. And the second process is the denitrification, which means the loss and the removal of the nitrogen compounds. We can say the reduction of the nitrate or the nitrites commonly by the bacteria in the soil that usually results in the escape of the nitrogen into the atmosphere. Okay children, so hope it is a very important cycle and you got it. This cycle, we know the nitrogen gas makes up 78% of our atmosphere, and nitrogen is also a part of the many molecules which is essential for our life processes like the proteins, deoxyribonucleic acid and also vitamins. So the nitrogen is found in other biological important compounds such as alkaloids and urea too. So that the nitrogen is an essential nutrient for all the life forms, and the life would be simple if all these life forms could use the atmospheric nitrogen directly. But other than the few form of the bacteria, we know the life forms are not able to convert the comparatively inert nitrogen molecules into the forms like nitrates and the nitrites, so which can be taken up and used to make the required molecules. So these nitrogen fixing bacteria may be free living or may be associated with the special dicot plants. Mostly that we have discussed, the nitrogen fixing bacteria are found in the roots of the leguminous plants, especially plants like for example like the pulses. Okay, so in the special structure is called the root nodules, and other than these bacteria are other uh, the only other manner in which that the nitrogen molecules is converted into nitrates and nitrites is by a physical process. During the lightning, the high temperature and the pressure created in the air convert the nitrogen into the oxides of the nitrogen, and these oxides dissolve in water to give the nitric acids, or we can say the nitrous acids, and fall on the land along with the rain. So these are then utilized by the various life forms. So children, what happens? What happens to the nitrogen once it is converted into the forms that can be taken up and used to make the nitrogen containing molecules? So, children, the plants generally take up the nitrates and nitrites and convert them into the amino acids, which are used to make the proteins, and some other biochemical pathways are also used to make the other complex compounds containing the nitrogen. So, children, these proteins and other complex compounds are subsequently consumed by animals. Once the animals or the plants dies, the other bacteria in the soil convert the various compounds of the nitrogen back into the nitrate and the nitrite. So children, a different type of bacteria which converts the nitrate and the nitrites into the elemental nitrogen also. So children, there is a nitrogen cycle in the nature in which the nitrogen passes from its elemental form in the environment, in the atmosphere, into the simple molecules in the soil and water, which get converted more complex molecules in the living beings and back again to the simple nitrogen molecules in the environment. So it is a process of the cycle. So you can all processes seen in, you can see these processes in this diagram: the nitrogen fixation, the nitrogen fixing bacteria, then ammonia, then convert the nitrogen nitrifying bacteria which convert the atmospheric nitrogen into their compounds, and then denitrifying bacteria, after that denitrification, and the assimilation process also. So all these are interconnected with each other. All plants, all animals, in which they all are interconnected with each other. So hope children this topic is clear. Any query you can write in query box. Today's your homework is to draw a well-labeled diagram of nitrogen cycle in the nature in your book. Sorry, in your notebook. Okay children, thank you.